Yes, well, Bev, it doesn't get much more dangerous and delicate and fragile as this. This is the most challenging of stages of a whole hostage negotiation because this is where tensions are running high, assumptions can be made, and just the tiniest accident or incident can derail the whole agreement here. So it doesn't get much more challenging than this. However, as we've seen over the last 3 to 4 days, so far, so good.
Yeah, we are hearing reports tonight, though, that there are concerns with Hamas actually knowing where some of the remaining hostages are, that there could be a hold-up to the release that's been expected today.
Well, the practicalities, the logistics, the sequencing, those steps can be quite a challenge to actually make it happen. And that's just in, let's call it a standard kidnapping case, let alone one where there's hundreds of hostages in an active war zone.
And to your point too, Scott, is we understand too that not all the hostages were taken by Hamas. This is what has become apparent. So how does that play into negotiations if Hamas is the only group that Israel is actually negotiating with, or Qatar in this case?
Well, one of the key fundamentals of any kind of hostage negotiation is not only a proof of life to make sure the hostages are alive and well that you're negotiating for, but that the people you're negotiating with actually have possession of physical control of those hostages. So the Qataris and the Egyptians would indeed be liaising with maybe other groups, other factions that hold the hostages. But in terms of a coordination effort, it makes it more challenging for sure.
Yeah. Give us a sense now, once hostages are released, is there a specific protocol considering the trauma that they would have gone through, and probably each trauma would have been very, very different depending on where they were being held?
You're right. The hostages will deal with this completely differently. In terms of the process, they'll be checked out medically as soon as they get released. And then the integration process, the reunited with their family, and then the debrief will start as well. Because obviously, as you can expect, the authorities will want to know, okay, well, what was it like where you're being held? What were the guards like? What were the conditions, etc.? So they can build up part of that intelligence picture. But the reintegration back into normal life can be a very long process for the hostages, which is why lots of support is offered to them immediately upon their release.
Yeah. There is talk of trying to extend this window beyond today, which is meant to be the remaining day. How critical is that, given that, you know, there are still many more hostages still being held?
Both sides have publicly declared that they are working towards and support an extension of this ceasefire, which can only be good news to get more hostages out. However, both sides' ultimate aim is actually the destruction of each other. And again, both sides have indicated that that's not going to change anytime soon. So this is really a day-by-day, case-by-case basis of trying to extend that time frame as long as possible. And the more we can do that, the likely the chance of more hostages coming back.
Yeah, because if this window closes, how difficult is it then to reopen it if hostilities resume? Benjamin Netanyahu has made no secret of the fact that the bombardment will resume as soon as this hostage window has closed.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I think if that window does close, it's going to be harder to then open it up again. Although saying that, what the last 4, 5, maybe hopefully 6 or more days will show us is that it can be done. The process is in place, the communication channels are there, and because we've done it before, we could do it again. However, it will be harder to restart that.
Yeah. Scott, great to get your expertise on this. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.